Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce y'all to some tips and tricks on how I write my day spa business plans. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right into it. And first thing what I want to do is I want to kind of introduce y'all to who I am and some of my experiences. I want to make sure y'all know that I'm just not just some Joe Schmo off the street that's just making stuff up, and I've got some qualifications behind me. So first and foremost, I am a professional business plan writer. I've been writing business plans for about 9 years. And so if you do want to avoid all of the pain and pleasure of writing a business plan, especially a day spa business plan, don't hesitate to give me a shout at the number below. Visit my website. I'd love to hear from you. Next is that I am a published author. I've published over 60 books on Amazon. A lot of them are on company reviews, but also on how to write business plans in various industries. And finally, I am also an adjunct finance professor and subject matter expert for both business and finance. So if y'all need some financial projections done for your day spa, again, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a message through my website, and so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. Let's go ahead and let's start talking about some day spa business plans and tips and tricks that can be associated with the fun process of writing this type of business plan. All right, so first and foremost, the tip number one, when you're writing your company description, a lot of the individuals that I've worked with for day spa business plans, they do a fantastic job explaining in detail the services that they're going to provide and why they're qualified to do these services and what the customers are going to expect from the services. However, one thing that really surprises me a lot is a lot of investors don't know how low the material cost is for doing various spa services like eyelash extension, nail extension, massages, and so on and so forth. Those types of services that individuals come to expect and associate with day spas, the material costs are so incredibly low, and let's be honest, the service prices are relatively high as compared to the material costs, and this is a wonderful thing from a business perspective. So what I like to do when I write my business plans is make sure that I highlight and talk about and let the reader know that hey, there's a lot of profit margin to be made, and when you look at the financials and you see a substantial profit margin, understand that's to be expected in this industry. The next is going to be the location. Everybody talks about the location and why they choose where they choose, but what I found with working with a lot of my individuals that do day spas is they love to have a location with a lot of foot traffic. And so where you're going to get your locations for a lot of foot traffic is you're going to find it at the mall, at the strip malls. And also, you're going to have some outdoor, outdoor areas where there's, just a bunch of different stores. And, those are very effective locations as compared to standalone entities. Or even at specific hotels. A lot of day spa people like to try to get in with a hotel, but you're really limiting yourself to just that niche clientele. And it's my most humble of opinions. If you're really looking for to offer services to a loyal group, you're going to get a better opportunity in a strip mall or a regular mall, or just an area with a lot of retail locations. Final thing that I like to stress with the company description is going to be the competitive advantages. From my experience, again, when I'm working with my day spa owners, their focus is either on offering a bunch of services, so that way when their clients come in, it's one-stop shop. They don't have to go one place to get their nails done, one place to get their eyelashes done, another place for a pedicure, and so on. So it's a one-stop shop. And then I also work with other people that just, they're specialists. They offer 2 or 3 services, and they do those services very, 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 very good. So when you're doing your company description, make sure to identify your competitive advantage, whether it's the multiple services, if you're a specialist, or if there's another thing that's you're doing better than the competitors. Make sure to stress that in your company description. All right, next is going to be industry research. A lot of business owners, what they like to do is they like to focus their industry research on just competitors in the area. What are those competitors doing? How many employees do they have? What are their prices are they charging? How are they doing their services? What are they doing different than what you would be doing? And that's all fine and dandy and hunky dory and everything. However, when you just focus on the competitors, you don't get a broad understanding of what's going on in the industry in its totality. So what I always do when I write my business plans is I start with my industry research, what's going on a national level. When you understand what's going on a national level, then you can go ahead and see and compare the competitors. Are they doing what the national average is doing? Are they offering those services? Are they not offering those services? Are there new services up and coming that are, becoming popular in New York City, in Los Angeles, that are going to eventually filter throughout the U.S. So, make sure that you're identifying on a global, not on a global, but on a national level, what are some of the trends and some of the services that are being offered, and then, take a look at your competitors. Also, when you're doing your research, make sure to go to reliable sources for your information. For example, Day Spa Magazine is a good place to go. Global Wellness Institute has some real good information, and also the International Spa Association. So make sure you explore those different avenues to get some ideas, not only just from your market research, but also to kind of see if there's any new and upcoming, like I said, ideas or trends that you may be able to add or complement some of the services you already have in mind. Also, when you're writing your business plan, make sure to put some statistics in there. For example, 500,000 people are going to day spas on a daily basis. Day spas, they employ 350,000 people across the U.S. The annual revenue growth rate of a day spa is 4.3%. I mean, that statistic right there, that 4.3%, you can use that for your financials to do your projections. Once you get your first year projections, you can use that 4.3% and you can grow that for the next 4 years. And now you've got a substantiated growth rate for your financials. Not bad for just doing a little bit of research. Especially, I spent less than 4 minutes doing this research right here, coming up with this information. Also, finally, when you're doing industry research, check out the day spas in your area. Check out your competitors. Do that after you do your industry research on a national level, though. Don't go to the competitors until you understand what's going on a national level. Then compare your local competitors to the national level. See if they're doing anything different, or see if there's the competitors are putting some spins on it that's not identified based on the standard that you researched. All right, next thing is going to be advertising. Everybody loves their advertising. I love advertising. Your competitors love advertising. I'm sure you love advertising. And there's some types of advertising that everybody is expected to do. That's going to be your social media. It's going to be your Instagram. It's going to be your Facebook. It's going to be your Twitter. And you've got to be persistent and consistent with it too. You can't just do it once or twice, a month and expect to have a following. You've got to be consistent on a daily basis, on a every other day basis. Make sure you're posting information about your services that you're going to be doing for your day spa. Next is going to be a website. Not only should the website educate your potential customers about the services that you're going to provide and how you differentiate from various competitors, but it should also give them information or give them opportunities to book with your day spa, or it should give them an understanding of what your hours of operation are going to be, or heck, even give them an opportunity to pay, prepay their visit. So just, make sure you use your website for more than just information. Get them to interact with it, because once you get them interacting with your website, then you're going to get them to keep you in, you're going to be on the top of their mind, and so on. Some other things that you really want to explore when you're doing your advertising for a day spa is going to be word of mouth. Everybody, if you find somebody that does a phenomenal job with nails, from what I've experienced, women that go in there, get their nails done, they love to tell their friends and they love to tell their family on how wonderful the nails are and who did them. Same thing with the lashes and the hair. Also, guys are going to do that too. And, more and more guys are going to the day spas as well, getting, similar services, or massages, So again, if you do good work, make sure at the end of your, make sure at the end of their visit that you ask them to go ahead and tell a friend. Get them to think about that. Remind them to tell a friend. That is one great way to stimulate word of mouth advertising. Some other great ways are going to be mailers. If you're in a strip mall, if you're in your locale, then drop some mailers to area residents. Drop some mailers to your business owners in the area. So you'll be engaged with it from that way as well. All right, next is going to be tip number 4, funding request. Any business that's ever been started, that'll ever be started, it always starts with money. You've got to have money in order to start a business. I for many years, I had a tutoring business, and even in a tutoring business, I had to buy paper and I had to buy pencils. I needed gasoline to get into my car so my car can take me to wherever I needed to tutor. So you are going to need to spend money to make money. It's as simple as that. However, what a lot of people don't know is how much money they need. And some people, what they do when they try to do the budget is they try to be exact to the penny. If you need a hair dryer and that hair dryer right now is $39.99, well, they're going to put $39.99 in their financials for how much they need. Unfortunately, though, in 6 months from now, we don't know if that hairdryer is still going to be $39.99. It might be $44.99. We don't know. So when you're doing your budgets, first and foremost, identify all the equipment that you need. Identify how much inventory you want to carry and how much it's going to cost, ballpark it, how much it's going to cost to do a build out. And then what you're going to do, in my most humble of opinions, is add a little buffer. Maybe add 10% to what you've estimated. That way you're going a little bit high in your budget, but you darn well know now that even if prices go up just a little bit, you're going to have enough money to cover what you need. And also, when you're writing your business plan, tell the reader what you're going to buy, not just how much it's going to be, but explain to them what it's going to be. Where I'm going to need 15 hair dryers, I'm going to need 32 nail extension kits. So make sure you explain to them, but don't go into a penny. Each nail kit is going to be $34.99. Multiply that by this and that shipping. No. Too much. Just be broad enough where you can show that you know what you need to get, but don't be so detailed that you're killing them with facts and figures and dollars amounts. It's a little overwhelming. Also, when you're doing your budgeting for startup, make sure you include your advertising, your build out, and deposits for any kind of utilities and deposits for lease too. Finally, when you're done with your funding request and you've explained to them, how much money you need to start your organization, how much money you're looking for, always tell them how you're going to repay those funds. A lot of people just assume, well, of course I'm going to put, once I start my business, once I start making money from my profits, I'm going to, make the payments, whether it's a debt financing or equity financing, it doesn't matter. But the biggest thing is, though, is that's just an assumption, and the people that are going to be lending you money, whether it's a bank, friends and family, or just an outside investor, they're going to want to know explicitly where that money is coming from. Some people, believe it or not, they start a business and they're going to continue to work in their day job, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to pay the bills and pay the debt and pay, whatever from their day job until the business is up and running and is making a profit. Or they might tap into their 401k whenever the funds need to be replenished. So there's a lot of different ways. So don't just assume that the reader knows you're going to pay it from your cash flows. Explicitly state where the money is going to come from to repay your loans. Next is going to be your financial projections. Oh, how I love my financial projections. Financial projections for a day spa, those are similar to a lot of different industries where you're going to have revenues, which is going to be your services. You're going to have costs, which is your materials, and then you're going to have your fixed cost. So your financial projections are going to be similar to a lot of organizations, but you do want to, kind of specify, because you are in the day spa industry, you want to specify, specific, pieces of information. For example, you want to go ahead, it's not items sold, but it's going to be, what are some of the services you're going to have, and what are some of the average prices you're going to be offering. So make sure you identify, if you're going to be doing massages, what's the average price of massage. If you're going to be doing hairstyling, what's the average price of the hairstyling. And then also explain in your financials how many sales or how many services do you think you're going to do in a day or a weekly, a day or a weekly. Next thing is going to be your cost. It's going to be your cost. How much, on average, how much are lashes? On average, how much is hair color? On average, how much are your nail extensions? What is your labor going to be? What do you think your utilities are going to be? So these are just some of the components of your financial projections. Once you get your daily and your weekly and your monthly numbers figured out, then you got to go in, you got to start figuring out your taxes. How much are your taxes going to be? What are your growth rates? Are you going to be growing your business on a weekly basis or a monthly basis? Or are you already an established organization and there's really not a whole lot of growth going on? So your projections need to answer all of these questions. Now here's just a real quick, nice and short and to the point day spa profit and loss statement, and this is just for 1 month. So the way that I've structured this right here, obviously my financials are significantly more detailed, and they've got a lot more of a structure to them. But this is just something you can go ahead and develop, just to give you an idea of what your monthly profits are going to be. And the way this works right here is right here I identify just 3 different services that your and a day spa is going to offer. You can write 3 services, you can write 5 services, you can write 10 services. It doesn't matter. The structure is still the same. Then what you're going to do is you're going to identify an average sales price for each one of the services you're going to provide. Next, you're going to identify what are some of the costs involved. For example, for your massage therapy, well, you're going to have oils that you're going to be using. What are the costs of an oil per treatment? Same thing for body treatments and same thing for waxing. Once you've identified your variable costs for each service, you're going to take your sales price, you're going to subtract your variable cost, which is going to give you a gross profits. So you can get your gross profits for each one of the services you're going to provide. Then you're going to multiply these services, these gross profits, by the number of times you're going to provide this service in a day or a week. Once you multiply like the 97, which is a gross profit, times 6, it's going to then give you your gross profits for the day or the week. You add that number up. Next thing what you need to do is you're going to have to do your monthly fixed costs. So identify what are your monthly fixed costs. You've got a loan, you've got inventory, you've got labor, you've got space rentals, you've got utilities, marketing, accounting, legal, insurance. And then there's always the catch-all, miscellaneous. I mean, you're going to forget something. It's going to be a monthly cost. Excuse me. Make sure to identify miscellaneous. It's your catch-all. It's your buffer. And then once you're done with that, total it all up and put a total right here. Once you have your revenues identified and once you have your cost identified, now you can do a real simple profit loss calculation. Next, you're going to do is you're going to identify the days in the month. So if it's July and you're going to be open 31 days, or that's right here, and if it's June. So if you're going to be open in June and you're going to be open every day, so you're going to have 30 days. What you're going to do is you're going to multiply that 30 by your gross profits. It's going to give you your monthly revenues or your monthly gross profits. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your monthly cost, which is right here. You're going to bring it down here. And then you're going to subtract your monthly costs from your monthly revenues or your monthly gross profits. That's going to give you your net profit. Once you have the structure set up in Excel, you can then start changing your sales price. You can start changing your variable costs, and that's going to immediately roll into what your monthly profits are going to be. Now, if you need some help with this structure right here, no worries. Just give me a call, send me an email. Be delighted to go ahead and devise a customized financial projection structure for y'all to use. So finally, what we have here is going to be, hopefully this little tips and tricks are going to help you all with your day spa business plan writing. So just keep a couple things in mind. First and foremost, when you're writing your business plan for your day spa, follow a proven format. You'll go to the SBA and check out their templates they have available. Check out my website, which is at qualitybusinessplan.com. I've got some templates available as well. But follow a proven format. That way you've got some kind of structure to add your information in. And next is going to be always keep the star of the show is your business. It's always your business. I'm sure that you've got a significant amount of experience with your in your business and doing what you're doing and how you do it and why you do it and where you do it and so on and so forth. But too many people when they start a business, they want to make it about them. They want to talk about how great they are and how their business is going to revolve around them. That's not what the business plan is about. The business plan is to talk about the business, so keep the business as the star of the show. And finally, location, location, location. Day spas, it's critical to have a good location, whether it be foot traffic or whether it be a mall or whether it be at a resort somewhere. Make sure you understand the ramifications of your location, because let's be honest, if you set up a day spa in one location, picking up and going, it's just not an overnight venture. And finally, if y'all need a little bit of help with your business plan or your financials, don't be a stranger. Check out my website, qualitybusinessplan.com. Here's my number. I'd be absolutely delighted to help. And finally, if you want some more tips and tricks on how to write a business plan for a day spa, jump on over to my website at qualitybusinessplan.com/how to write a day spa business plan. And on my website, I do have some more tips and tricks and ideas for y'all to use when you're writing your own business plan. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please, please, please give me 2 thumbs up. And I look forward to helping y'all in the near future. Thank you.